Ba-ba-da-bum. Ba-da-ba-bum. Ah, all right. Well, let's get this started. I'm probably gonna try to save this video, or I mean, export this stream and save it and maybe upload it at some point. That sounds like a good idea. This is gonna be pretty quick, I think. Not incredibly long, and then I have to head off, so it's gonna be a very quick stream. Do not have time to work on my third model, unfortunately, but yes, give me soon. We will start soon. My work, the fruition of my effort, in a nice little bite-sized format. All right, welcome. This is the showcase of model number 1 and 2 of 100 of my 100 VTuber model creation journey, whatever you want to call it. And we're now going to begin. There will be no music because I do not want to risk uh, music blocking stuff. So it will be silent other than my voice. Anyway, hello. We're going to start off at the beginning. And I mean the very beginning. I think it was uh, 4 years ago now, 4 or 5, when I first was interested in making VTuber models. So, um, many years ago, I created my first model, and this is my first model. This was a kind of a test model, an experimentation to see if I was capable of doing it. So here's a little surprise. Here's my actual first model ever, uh, Miss Baldy, I called it. And I gotta remove that. Hello. This was the beginning. Model 0, Miss Baldy. So yeah, this was my first attempt at rigging a model. I just did the head. And yeah, I added a little shine. Yep, you can. Very shiny. Very shiny indeed. Let me take my glasses off. So I'm going to be blind now. So I actually can't really see what's going on because I'm blind. But we'll get a little better tracking with the with my glasses off. I'll take them on and off throughout, but so no hair. This was just me learning the ropes. Uh, and yeah, this is model number 0, I guess technically you could call it. Very first attempt at um, rigging. I think it turned out pretty okay. I mean, ignoring the baldness because I wasn't doing hair yet. I just wanted to do the face tracking. I think it turned out pretty good. Um, however, and then the mouth, there was some issues with the mouth, I remember. But however, there is another model, perhaps a model 0.5, we can call it. I don't know. Uh, when I practiced hair, I had two of these models, but I lost one, so I don't know where one model went. I had two practice models for hair, and so this is model number 0.5. Let's get that down. And yeah, so this one has, I think it's just blinking, but this was hair practice. So this was, it's pretty good. I think there was like it's a little bit of a snapping issue, but yeah, very simple hair, just to learn the hair physics and hair separation. Um, so yeah, couple of early testing models that I think did in like 2021, 2021, 2022. And then I guess life happened as it does. Um, and not until this new year did I lock in and start creating full models, as was a goal and a want of mine for a very long time. But yes, so those were two practice models essentially. Uh, and that's the table. I don't want to move the table. All right, so we're gonna say goodbye to the practice models. There's a little prelude there, and now we're gonna go into the next, which is our real first model. Yes, our real first model. Let me just get it ready. All right. Okay. Boom. First up, starting this year, January, I took a design I had made from many years ago as well, of I think I made about 30-ish like rough designs of potential VTubers, all female, I guess at the time. I may do male later on. But yes, this was my first full real model done this year. Um, and let's take a look. All right, we're gonna do the classic. Wow, shoes. A thing to note about the models um, is at the moment I'm still learning. So at this time, a lot of my early models don't really have much detail or movement in the feet or the lower portion of the body. I will hopefully get to a point where I do focus on that one of my models. Uh, Maybe not like a foot specific model. That might be a little bizarre. But hey, I'm not one to judge. But yeah, very limited movement at the bottom, but like still like very slight things. And you can see at the top there where we got a little physics as we come down, showing off the model, and then ooh, we got hands. And like here with the upper body, I tried to do a little bit of movement in the hands. Uh, as you can see, it's pretty good. Again, not no massive detail on the hands. At some point, I do want to have the hand split into multiple parts, and so like individual fingers might move slightly. But then again, first full model, I was going real easy, no high expectations, just having a good time. But as you can see, I'm starting to move a little bit, getting getting that move on. And then oh, here we go, we're getting up to the torso, and this is we get to start to see the hair. Uh, I'm very happy with these long hair strands on this model. I think they turned out pretty well. Again, I still haven't fully figured out hair physics. There is a little bit of jitteriness, but I'm sure throughout the models I make, I'll get more familiar and better at making the hair smooth. But these still look nice. And then, oh, we got the shoulders. Got these little, I don't know, I kind of call them floaters orbitals, whatever you want to call them, little shoulder companions. Um, I do like how these turned out. I tied them to blinking, which maybe wasn't the best option. And if I had more time, I might have, fine-tuned their movement to be more flickery instead of like kind of pulsy. But anyway, we can just go boom. Here we go. This is the first model. Pretty happy with it. So we got the range of motion. Hopefully the tracking isn't too bad. I took my glasses off, so I'm blind at the moment. But as you can see, got a decent amount of expressions. At the moment, blinking is synced, so no winking today. Perhaps another day, but pretty happy with this model. As a first model, I think it's I'm pretty satisfied with the result. The hat was quite interesting because I didn't like the buttons were separated properly, but the hat was mostly one object, so it was a little jank. But I learned to make sure you always separate stuff that you want to move individually, such as the ears on the hat. The hat was also originally going to blink, but I messed something up, so unfortunately, no blinking. But you know, I learned that I needed to ensure that things are separated properly. But yes, model number one, I'm again, once again, generally, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it turned out pretty well. I think it's a pretty cute design that I did all those years ago, and I think I translated it pretty well. I've been thinking maybe my 100th model will be like a redesigned remake of this model, and we could compare many years later my first model with my 100th model of like the same design. That would be cool. That's far in the future though. But yeah, I also made this background because I wanted some cool backgrounds with this. So this is a cool background that I made. I could put myself in the game. I'm in the game. I teleport to the boat. But yeah, anyway, that's essentially it. I could blab on, but there's nothing really else to talk about. So it's time for the next model. Model number two, which I started, I think, January 18th or 19th. It was pretty much after I finished that model, I went into model number two very quickly. Um, so I'm going to grab that model now. This model was much, much higher resolution as well, and a decent amount more detail, and took quite a bit of time. This model took, I think, exactly like a month to complete, but um, I think it turned out very good, and learned some new things with it. Uh, Here we go. So we'll go. Welcome to the spooky realm. Second model was nicknamed Demon Lord Girl on my sketch page, so that's what I went with. We got this little cute background I drew yesterday, just as a little accompanying piece. And well, let's just get started. I will say once again that I uh, did not really do much with the feet. There was potential. I did separate the feet a bit more, but this model had gone on for a month already, and I wanted to move forward and was kind of getting burnt out on it a little bit. So once again, the feet, you know, kind of shimmy around. Uh, but yeah, they're pretty good. There was also some weird issue with flattening. Some of the colors kind of changed unexpectedly, and like the model ended up looking slightly different than I initially wanted it to. But yeah, here's like the legs. I did have like the legs kind of go inward when I like went like down. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, it's the legs aren't like the main thing here. The main thing is everything, hips up. Oh, whoa, look at this. Look at these shorts. Spats. Puffy shorts. Everyone loves puffy shorts, I think. And we got big claws. Some would say big meaty claws. Um, I tried to put a little more dynamic movement into the hands. And once again, I was thinking of making the hands a bit more detailed, but this model took quite a bit out of me, so was kind of happy with how they turned out in the end. And then we got the cape. Yes. So here we have the cape. I tried to get it to be like a bit wavy. I think originally I think it was a bit wavier. I made certain changes later on, and it made the cape not as wavy, and uh, that's a little unfortunate. But I think it's still pretty clear, and it's still a nice physics to it. And we also got the orbitals or floaters again on the side. It's funny because the two first models I chose had these kind of side um, accessories, you can call them, I guess, which, I mean, it's pretty easy to do when you sketch stuff out, especially when you have a mirrored sketch, but I think these ones are cool. I have them kind of like the the wings kind of go in and out when I lean, I kind of had that dynamic going on, but there was also an idea to have them flap, but I did not. That would have been another few days probably of figuring stuff out. Anyway, we get up to the neck, and oh, there's the head, and boom! This is model number 2, and yeah, this one, I really like how the face turned out, honestly. This one I added more accurate eyebrow tracking, made that a bit better. And like my previous model, if you remember, the eyebrows were pretty much covered by the hair. So this model, I had the opportunity to actually have the eyebrows visible, which allows me to do this. I also was able to have the eyes go wider. So in the previous model, the eyes had the maximum and the minimum. In this one, I made them be slightly wider at the maximum, so I can do stuff like this. And I made the pupil smaller. You make funny faces like that. So I like the expressiveness with it, even with my like simple knowledge. Um, the mouse is a little excitable at the moment. Again, I still need to mess with VTube Studio settings, um, but it still, I think, turned out really well. And we also got the horns, which were very difficult. They turned out pretty good. I feel like they could have been a little bit better, but I think they give off the proper impression of being pointy and moving in a 3D space. But yeah, that was this model, very fun. It's also much higher resolution than my previous model, so I can get in real close, and it still looks very nice. My model before was much lower resolution. And another main feature of this model, one of the major new things, was I learned how to do a toggle, which was pretty simple, honestly. But if I press the button here, boom, we can take off the cape. Uh, and like, yeah, I just wanted to learn how to do a toggle, especially a clothing toggle. So, we can put the cape on, or we can take it off. And I, also rigged the undershirt and everything. Once again, the hair, still figuring that out. Like, it does flow pretty nicely, but there are times where the hair seems to flicker and jitter in bizarre ways. And I need to take time on my next models to work that out and figure out why that's happening. But yeah, this model number 2. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue making models. I'm currently working on a third model. It's a much simpler model because this one took quite a bit of time, and I was interested to see how long a simple model would take. And it's going pretty fast, honestly. It only took a few days to get it into live 2D compared to like the week and a half this one took. And that model I will be continuing probably a bit later this week. I think I'm busy for the next few days, and that model's focus will be expressions. It's going to have 4 unique expressions, and that's going to be how I learn how to do that and the process to do that. I'm excited. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. If this is on the video end, yeah, I will have my links to my Twitch, I imagine, as well. So do definitely drop by. I generally stream almost every day, and I will continue to make these models until I get to 100 or um, the world tries to stop me. I don't know. But yeah, thank you for coming so much uh, and watching. It's very appreciated. I am a little busy today, so I do have to go. But there will be more showcases in the future as I make more models. I will try to showcase them, as I complete them. So the third model, I'll do a little showcase, and the third model is um, inspired, I guess, or based off a video game. I guess it's like I don't know if anyone knows Osu game, but it's a character from Custom Song from that. So I'll probably play some Osu with that model as the showcase. But that will be on. That'll be on. I can't speak English. That will be all. I could babble on, but I will end it here. Uh, and yes, we'll whoop. It's the end. Farewell. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I am huge. The end. There will be more to come.